Hey everybody, I just thought I'd show you how to do my lasagna noodles. As you can see, I'm using a 16-ounce package of mozzarella cheese that you get at Kroger's and a 6-ounce package of Parmesan. Now I use both packages, the entire package. Now it's basically the same recipe that I do for the pizza crust, except I use 4 ounces for the pizza crust instead of six. Well, actually three if you go by volume, because I use like half of the 16-ounce for the mozzarella for the pizza crust. But in this, since I'm doing two sheets, I double up. But again, I use an ounce less per sheet of Parmesan. Hopefully, I did not confuse you on that. But I shredded the mozzarella and I've just mixed in the Parmesan, as you can see. Now, this recipe is actually good for several things, actually, and I throw in 4 eggs, which again I use 2 eggs in the pizza crust that I make. You could that video is up if you want to watch it. You can find it on the channel, and you got to get those hands in there, mix it up real good. Now, it's never going to be quite a dough consistency, but it'll get close enough. I just like to get it thoroughly mixed. Your hands are going to get a little dirty. And as I was saying, it actually makes good lasagna noodles, but I have also found that you can use it and you can create kind of like a fettuccine type noodle. Because I had some noodles left over and I cut those noodles relatively thin from when I made lasagna the last time, and Sue loved them. She thought they were great, and she put Alfredo sauce on it that I'd made, and she really liked it. So, I mean, you possibly might be able to make pretty much any kind of noodle out of it. I am going to attempt making an egg noodle out of it because I've been having a hankering for tuna casserole. So I don't know if I'll show that video of me making it. I mean, it'll be a general tuna casserole. I am going to have to make my own Parmesan, or not Parmesan, forgive me, cream of mushroom soup. Now here I'm taking the dough, we'll call it a dough, and I'm weighing it out because I plan on dividing it in two, because I'm going to spread it so I can put it on two baking sheets. It's a large size baking sheet. They're not small. I think we got those at Sam's, those large size restaurant type of baking sheets. And I'm just sitting here calculating, trying to make sure they're equal because I'm anal retentive, okay? And making sure I get that last ounce, every last speck to be equal. Now, at this point, I've already got the parchment paper on, and I've already kind of fixed it the way I want to fix it. As you can see, it's been wore a little bit, but what I do is I lay the parchment down and I fold it so I can kind of get an idea where the edge is, because let me tell you what, it's near impossible to roll out that dough while it's in the pan. It's just a pain. It's still a pain without the pan because it definitely wants to slide all over the place no matter what you do. But at this point, I am going to try to help myself here, and I'm going to kind of, I guess, form I don't know, cylinder tube, if you will, and I'm going to try to stretch it out fairly far toward the edges of the parchment, and then I'm going to flatten it out to help myself along the way. And after that, after I get it kind of the way I want it, I'll press it down a bit, trying to keep some kind of form, and I don't want it to go past the line if I can help it. Now, I mean, you can mess up on this a little bit, and there's a lot of forgiveness in this, okay, because it is essentially cheese and egg, okay. That's, you know, 2 cheeses and an egg. That's pretty much it. I didn't put any seasoning in this like I do with a pizza crust. And here I go attempting to roll this out. Again, this is a little tough just because it does like to slide. But you know, you work with it and you'll get there. It's not that big a deal. You know, something good is worth the wait. And here I am just trying to get it to those edges. And again, like I said, it is forgiving. All right, if it goes past the edge, you just rip off what goes past the edge, and you use it to help fill the holes. But it being essentially cheese and egg, when you first put it in the oven, it's actually going to level itself out a lot. Okay, it's going to level itself out. So if you got any lumps or imperfections like that, don't worry about it too much. And then it will firm up. Once it firms up, you're a-okay. Okay, you could put it back in the oven as a pizza crust, like I did in the pizza video, and it's not going to melt. It's just not that egg will have solidified and it will hold together. So at that point, whatever's going to happen has happened, and that's all there is. But right now, you know, you can rip off the stuff that is extended too far and try filling in those gaps, which is what I'm trying to do here. And of course, being a little sloppy about it, I suppose. But I am on camera. Nothing ever goes right on camera. But, and of course, I do a second pan, but I'm not going to show the second pan after I get done with this, because no need to watch me fumble around a second time with the same process. But I just roll out those pieces I just tore out just to get it flat, and then I'll lift it up and I will put it in the pan, and I will take the parchment off, and as you can see, it's fairly flat there. I try to get it as thin as I possibly can. And again, if you see little cracks like you just seen at the end, don't worry about it, because once it bakes, it will all run together and into one glorious sheet of cheese noodle. And I mean, as long as nothing catastrophic happens, you should be fine. And I'm going to have to tear off some more because I did go over a bit. And fact, I probably should have just left. I think I used this to fill up some more holes, but I could have probably just left it off and it would have been fine. The goal is, I think for some noodles, you'll want them as thin as you can get them. When I try out the egg noodles, maybe I'll let you know. I might even show a video of it. I don't know. But if I get to it today, I sliced the tip off of my thumb this morning trying to make homemade sauerkraut and slicing the cabbage with a mandolin. Didn't go the way I was expecting. Had to throw away the cabbage because, well, you don't want bloody cabbage for sauerkraut. So, not the most appetizing thing in the world. Who knows? Sue might have to take over the cooking for the next few days. But believe it or not, Sue, well, I'm sure everybody that she works with knows this, but they all know that she's an excellent cook, or they wouldn't hit her up to bring stuff to work. So, now you pop it in the oven at 400 degrees, okay? Now, I like to leave it in for about 15 minutes, okay? I don't want to get too brown. You might even be able to leave it in there for less than that. In fact, next time I do it, I'm going to experiment a little bit because I would like to have my noodles a little more pliable. I think if I'm making egg noodles, an egg noodle type shape, and in a casserole, that might be preferred. So I might go for like 7 to 10 minutes on that, just to see if it'll hold up. But as you can see, it pretty much flattened out and it's solid. And it's not going to melt anymore. It's where it's going to be at. I'm assuming it's not going to melt anymore. Maybe if you put it at a really high temperature, but that egg binds it together. And when I've made the lasagna, I've never had a problem with it melting inside the lasagna. And people so far have got, well, the reception it's gotten from people that Sue works with, pardon me. Evidently they've liked it quite a bit, which, you know, that's awesome. I like it when people like something, especially when I kind of come up with this one myself. Now here's evidently, I need to wear my glasses more often. So evidently, I'm having some spatial issues on this one. I don't quite cut things evenly. But that's okay, because rarely are all the noodles going to be even when you're putting things in the pan. When I do the lasagna, I do 3 layers. And, well, you got 9 noodles right there, and then you'll have another 9 noodles out of the other pan. But like I told you, I ended up having some left over, enough that I was able to take and cut thin strips that kind of resembled maybe a fettuccine. Now, that is a little thick for a fettuccine. That's a little thinner. But Sue did not complain. It took her a little while to get to it. It sat in the refrigerator for a few days before she finally got to it. But when she got to it, she ended up being surprised how good it was. So if you ever wanting a pasta that is not a zucchini, because we tried that too. We bought, what was it, one of those things that turn zucchini into like a pasta. I have to say I was surprised by that too. That was actually pretty good. Fried it in butter and olive oil. It was awesome. Now, let's see, and now you can see all the noodles. I end up putting it in a bag until I'm ready to start cooking the lasagna sauce. So I cook this ahead of time. Just put it in a plastic bag, let it set. No big deal. It stays separate. It doesn't stick. And it worked out pretty good. Hopefully you'll get to try it. And obviously there's no carbs in this except what you might get out of the eggs. Let's see. Let me go over the ingredients once more. For the 2 pans in total, it took 16 ounces of mozzarella that I finely grated, a 6-ounce bag of Parmesan cheese. That's the only cheese I recommend that you buy that's grated, because it's a hard cheese, so they don't put starch in it to separate it. And 4 eggs. No seasoning. Just mix it up by hand. Pop it in the oven after you've rolled it out at 400 degrees, preheated oven, and cook it. This one I cooked for 15 minutes. I do believe I took it out in the middle of that and switched the lower tray with the upper tray to kind of get an even, make sure it was even. But that's the only thing I did. And cut each section into 9 pieces. Hope you enjoy this recipe. Have a wonderful day, and thanks for watching.